Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rama Putra, student from English Language Education and Study Program, Maritime University of Raja Ali Haji. Alright, in this video I will review the journal again, with the title is Analyzing the Speaking and Writing Competence of an Indonesian Students in the USA, a case study. Alright, this journal, written by Delvia Rosa from Muhammadiyah Riau University, it was published in Journal of English for Academic in February 2022, and this journal has 15 pages. The writer used 34 references to write this journal. Alright, not long after the proclamation of freedom in Indonesia, English was chosen as the first foreign language in the country instead of Dutch, the language of people of Netherlands who ruled Indonesia for centuries, according to Mr. 20 and 5. The way English spoken and written has become the primary problem of Indonesian students in learning English. Furthermore, the diversity of dialects and cultural background of people across Indonesia also make it difficult to learn. Since Bahasa Indonesia also used as the national language, there is no reason for the people to learn the language, according to Siregar 20 and 10. Despite the issues of English as a foreign language in Indonesia, states that it is now considered as an access to international markets, scientific knowledge, and expertise, and it is needed for the country's development, especially for researchers and academics. Therefore, their communicative competence in English is necessary to fulfill their intentions, mainly in speaking and writing. It is because writing and speaking are the most crucial skills needed for researchers and academics, so they can do presentation in seminars and conferences internationally, give lectures in English, write English research, journal and articles, and continue their study to postgraduate and postdoctoral studies abroad. Several studies have discussed about the theory. Hakim and Saputra in 2018 have determined the strength and the weakness of a learner of English as a foreign language by using the CC theory. However, the theory was used to find an approach how to improve the student's speaking performance through their speaking errors. Like with Yuso, Juan, and Martinez Flor in 2008, also used the CC theory as an approach for the learners to acquire to communicative ability, but in four language skills such as listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Alright, in this journal, the participant was a 33 years old researcher working on one of government institution in Indonesia and was studying in a university in the United States. He used Bahasa Indonesia both at them and work, both at home and work, but spoke English during his study in the US. He began studying English when he was in junior high school and has spent most of his time in Indonesia. The reason the author chose him because, for the first is his mother tongue was not English, the second is his major was not English, and the third is he began studying English from the beginner level, and the fourth he was studying abroad, and the last is due to his job. He wrote journals and joined conferences. Alright, there are some findings and discussion in this article and this is journal. For the first is speaking task evaluation. The second is socio-cultural competence. The third is discourse competence. The fourth is linguistic competence. And the fifth is interactional competence. The sixth is strategic competence. The seventh is writing task evaluation. The eighth is socio-cultural competence. The 9 is discourse competence. The 10 is formulatic competence, the 11 is linguistic competence, and the last and the 12 is interactional competence, and the last is strategic competence. Alright, for the conclusion is this study focuses on the analyze of the communicative competence of an Indonesian student who is studying in one university in the USA. The main focus was in the speaking and writing competence. The competence were evaluated by the theory of communicative competence suggested by Chelsea Murcia in 2008, which consists of social-cultural competence, discourse competence, formulaic competence, linguistic competence, interactional competence, and strategic competence. And the theory of CC is assumed to be engaged with knowledge, skills, and human action. Through data analysis, it can be concluded that the participant demonstrated well in the CCs both in the speaking and writing, despite some limitation found in his work, especially regarding grammar, which is related to linguistic competence. And another issue in participant speaking was fluency. Numerous signs were noted when the participant was talking. Through this is part of strategic competence is affected to participant spoken fluency. It is also suggested that the participant can apply the compensation strategy by Oxford in 1990 in dealing with both speaking and writing. The strategies are such as switching language into mother tongue or code switching, getting help from native speakers or per assistant using mime or gestures, partially or totally avoiding communication, being smart in selecting the topic, adjusting or alerting the message into something which is slightly different, coining words or making up words, and using synonym. These strategies are intended to make a language learner stay in conversation and keep writing, according to Oxford 1990. Alright, I think that's all from me. Thank you. I'm sorry if I have a mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.